Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Laura and this is Small Stuff Big Family. This is my husband Mark.
Hello.
Who you've probably seen before if you've been here for a while. Today's video is a huge collaboration with some of my good friends here on YouTube. Let me just run through the list of all of these ladies that are doing this video along with you, and then I'll explain what we're going to be talking about today. We have Ashley from Swanson Crew, Ashley from Fit Busy Bee, we have Kayla from Kayla & Co, Jenna from Mega Mom, Carissa Shaylin, Valerie Santos, and Sam Radecki. So after you finish watching this video, be sure to check out all of their videos in the description box as well. I apologize in advance, this coat is really noisy. We were talking about that before we started, like I'm gonna have to sit really still, but there's a reason that I'm wearing it. We are talking today about our proposal, so we thought it would be appropriate, even though it's like 90 degrees outside and I'm wearing a leather jacket with the air conditioning turned off. But this is what we wore whenever Mark proposed to me, so that's what we're talking about today. I love hearing stories like this from other people. That's why I thought this would be a really fun collaboration to do. So if you are a romantic sap like me, be sure to check out all the other ladies' proposal stories as well. Okay, first of all, do you remember when it was that you proposed to me? Like how long ago it was?
How long ago?
Yeah.
It's been years.
It's been like 2.5 years.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember the exact date. I do not.
I think it was sometime in March. Honestly.
Sounds right.
Honestly, your divorce was final, and then it was not very long after that that you proposed to me. Because I remember for sure you saying that like you wanted to propose to me before your divorce was even technically final.
Yeah.
And I said absolutely not. Like we were not together like while he was like married and with his ex-wife. Like they had been separated for a long time and he had actually had like another relationship before that, but his divorce was not technically final yet.
No,
until
it was a very long drawn out process.
Yeah. His divorce took a really long time, like years. But I want to say we got together in October, and I want to say we were only together for like 4 or 5 months before you proposed to me. I want to say it was like sometime in March-ish.
That's probably right. March or April is what I was thinking, somewhere in there.
Obviously it was cold because I was wearing like a leather. I only wear this usually when it's hot, not when it's not when it's.
But you get cold easy too. It wasn't very. I don't really remember the exact date. I really don't.
That's okay. Well, anyway, we were together. We had been together for I wouldn't say like 4 or 5 months. And then also, before you proposed to me, I kind of knew it was coming because you were saying things like hinting towards it. And didn't you ask me about, he had asked me like what type of rings that I liked. Like you wanted me to show you like send you some examples of rings that I liked.
I mean, it wasn't like you knew I was going to propose. I don't think you knew when I was going to propose.
No.
That was the whole thing. You didn't have really an idea on that, but...
No. And I really didn't think it was going to be quite that soon. Like, I thought, like, it was literally, I think, like, I was sending him pictures of rings, and then literally, like, a week later, he, like, popped the question. So, like, there wasn't a lot of time.
Well, one of the rings you had sent me was one of the rings I had already...
Yeah.
I had picked out because I had went and looked at me and Lexi went and looked.
Yeah. See if it'll focus on my ring. So obviously this one has like the wedding band already attached, like soldered together, but so the wedding band just kind of like fits into the bottom of it. But the reason that I liked this one out of all the ones that I was looking at online is because it almost looks like a ribbon like you would see for like cancer ribbon, and his mom had passed away from breast cancer before I met him, so I never got a chance to meet her. But I thought that's honestly like the main reason why I liked that one. So, and it's pretty, it's a really pretty ring. So then it was like just a regular date night, or so I thought, but he wouldn't tell me where we were going. What did you say? Do you remember? Like what exactly?
We were going to go to a restaurant, is what I told you. And
we were going to go eat or something. Except we were driving like like back in the like the backwoods. I was like, where does he think he's taking me? Because I'm wearing like I'm wearing like heels and like a leather jacket. Like I was dressed up to go out. I was wearing jewelry like I usually do, and I want to say it was like wedge boots is what I was wearing on my feet for sure, because I remember thinking like, if he's like taking me through like the woods in the dark in my dress, I mean it wasn't dark yet, I know that, it was still light outside.
Yeah, it was still daylight. We were going, well, where we ended up going, she had been before, and yeah. I was trying to see if she could realize which way, the way we were going, she could figure it out, but I went a different way that she had not went before, and she had no idea.
Yeah. Anyway, so where were we going?
So where we were going was to my mom's gravesite, which is like a family cemetery where it's just a family-only cemetery. It's right next to where she grew up at, but that's where we were headed. And there's a restaurant that's up, kind of going towards that way or whatever. So I was just kind of let her go with it for a while, just till see how long it took her to figure it out. And then she finally figured out that we were going. She goes, she kind of put two and two together a little bit before we got there.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, are we going to see your mom?
And I just said yes. I wanted to go see my mom tonight, and that's pretty much before we went out. So she's like, oh, okay, and didn't say anything else.
It wasn't that unusual, because I remember we had been talking about like wanting to go and visit her. Like we had been saying that we wanted to go visit her anyway. Like we'd been saying that for a couple weekends, and it just didn't ever work out. Like we wanted to take the girls, because usually he likes to take, Michaela and Paisley. They were the only ones of our kids that, knew her. So usually he wanted to go with the girls. So it was kind of a little bit unusual that we were going there, just the two of us. That was a little bit different, but I was like, well, it's his mom and he misses her and he wants to go see her, and I would never say no to that. So anyway, I didn't think too much of it.
No, you didn't really. You just said okay, whatever, just kind of, that was pretty much how that went. And then we got there, I don't know, there's like other times we had talked about it, and like my mom loved doing crossword puzzles.
Not crossword puzzles,
word search puzzles.
Yeah.
She loved doing word searches, and so does she. So we always kind of had a joke about that or whatever, and she had said that she would sometimes go sit and do a word search puzzle with my mom. So we got there, and one of the things when I proposed to her, I ordered it was a word search of, I ordered a couple different ones.
I still have it. Hold on.
And this is the one that I had ordered. And we got there, and I had it in my pocket, and I got it out, and I was like, well, I said, you always said you wanted to do a word search puzzle with my mom.
The kids have colored on it by now.
I said, so I bought this one. I said, so here you go, you can do it. Well, what I had done is I found an app where you could make your own word search puzzles. I went on there and I just kind of created one, and it had different options, and I kind of made it up, and I had slipped that into the book, so it was kind of like a page marker, so she obviously would flip to it. And she started doing it, and I just kind of put it into the word search puzzle.
I love you, Laura. Will you marry me? Team awesome.
And I just kind of let her do the word search, and it took her a minute, I think, before she finally realized it. She was sitting there doing it, and she started going through, reading through the...
I was just like actually doing it. I was like,
she just started doing it like normal.
I love you, Laura. And then it says like best friend, partner, soulmate, my everything. And then when you got to will you marry me, I think that's when I finally was
she does everything in order when she does them. She does them from top to bottom.
So it took me like halfway down to realize.
Yeah, she was just going through finding them like normal. I was just sitting there waiting for her. And when I seen her get to that one, then whenever she got to will you, then she kind of starts looking around at it or whatever. So that's when I was kind of getting the ring out of my pocket at the same time while I was kind of sitting there. I kind of had it to where I had it in my hand, and whenever she got to that, I got down on one knee in front of her whenever she got to that part, and then she finally figured it out.
And then I was
then I asked her.
Oh my God. I don't know about this. Anyway, so that is the proposal story. Why did you pick that spot?
I wanted my mom to be the first one to know or to see it, which that's kind of why I picked the spot. I was trying to come up with something somewhat clever to do, and with them both liking the...
Try not to cry right now.
Liking the word searches and stuff like that. I come up with that idea, and then I kind of started looking for a way to make one, and then I was trying to figure out if I could just order a book that had it in there. And I couldn't find nothing to do that. I'm sure there is a place you can probably do it, but I couldn't find one. So I found that where I could make one. So I went on and just made it, and I thought, well, I'll just get a book and slip it in there. So I'm like, if I get a book, and then I'm going to have to worry about it turning to the right page and all that. So I'm like, I'll just slip it into there.
Because I do things in order.
Through, and if she thumbs through and she finds it, you know, she's going to be like, oh, what's this? I'm like, oh, that's just one I made. And then that's where she started. And, but no, the main reason like I said, my mom wasn't able to obviously meet her or be there. So I wanted her to be the first one whenever I proposed. So nobody knew that I was going to do it there. My sisters had no idea. My sister that watched Lexi that night, she didn't know that's what we were doing. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew you were even proposing to me?
Not that night.
Oh.
And not then. But nobody knew anything about that except for me until it was done.
You and your mom.
That was the whole reason behind it. And it just had a special meaning to me of doing it there.
Yeah.
And
so we framed this. Obviously, I finished doing the puzzle.
She had to finish it while we were sitting there.
Because I can't not finish it. But anyway, so we did that, and then here's the photo. This is what, see if it'll get to focus on it a little bit, but yeah. And you can tell, like, that's where like, we're sitting on the bench, so that's like kind of a little fence back behind where his mom is. And yeah.
I think you put even like a little thing of, like the gravestone and the... With the headstone and the bench sitting there, you could we have pictures. We have even engagement pictures, like when we got, or not engagement pictures, but I mean wedding pictures. The night before, like our rehearsal.
No, it was like
a rehearsal dinner. My sister did our photography for us, and we went up there and we took some pictures. But that was the whole reason behind it. Like I said, was trying to be clever, come up with a different way of doing it, and like I said, that was what I came up with. But like I said, it meant a lot to me, and I think it meant a lot to her doing it that way, and had a lot of meaning behind it to me for sure.
Yep, me too. It was really cute.
I am really cute.
Oh my God. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up because that helps channels like mine to keep growing. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. I post at least 2 times a week. And don't forget to check out all those other ladies and listen to their proposal stories down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys again next time, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.